Hi folks, my name is Teacher Joko, and I am here to talk about two words that I ran into someone misusing one of these words today, and I realized that it connects to some grammar issues and some subtle distinctions between words that are often the source of mistakes in IELTS Task 1 and Task 2, because these words have to do with change. And so they're commonly used, and you need to have a good grasp of what the differences are. So what is the difference between decrease and reduce? You'd ask an English speaker that, and they'd have no idea. How about fall and lower? Two simpler words, but they also mean the same thing. Well, that came up today. What do we find? Here we go. Okay, so we're going to look at first the definition in the Cambridge Learner's Dictionary. It says, to reduce, to become or to make something become, to become or to make something become smaller in size, amount, degree, importance, etc. Decrease, to become less, or make something become less. Well, that's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. Looks like reduces can be used to describe more things. But there's another big difference. Let's take a look at some examples. Here's example sentences using reduce. The government has pledged to reduce. And decrease. I also got these from Cambridge Dictionary. They're synonyms. They are synonyms. But let's look carefully at how the verbs are used and what kind of words are around them. Which of these verbs, or which of these sentences, have direct objects in them? Which of them have direct objects? The government has pledged to reduce the amount of chemicals. Well, yes, that's a direct object, the amount of chemicals. During the 1980s, the amount of ozone in the stratosphere above Europe decreased by about 8%. Okay, now by 8% in the past year, these are prepositional phrases. They tell you where something happened or when, not the thing. It's not a direct object, so there's no direct object there. So what do we notice? Yeah, those sentences all take a direct object, or there is a direct object. Well, what does that mean? What does that point to in terms of the difference? Well, I'm sure for many of you, you've heard these terms before. Transitive and intransitive verbs. Having a understanding of the difference between the two types of verbs helps answer this question. Okay? What do we mean? Well, a transitive verb, it always mistake, an object. The action, the doing of the verb, it is applied to something. Something receives the action. And most verbs are transitive. Transitive verbs can be active or passive. In this case, the direct object becomes the subject in a passive voice. Many verbs can be either transitive or intransitive, depending on the context of the sentence. Sometimes a grammarian, like me, might call a verb, it's highly transitive, it's very transitive. And that what we mean there is that it kind of has to be transitive. And that's what we have here with reduce. You reduce something. Okay? It needs a direct object. Intransitive verbs, on the other hand, cannot or do not need or take a direct object. Some examples include happen. That's my favorite example. You can't happen something. Occur. No, things occur. You can't occur something. Smile. Now you can smile at someone, but you're not smiling someone. Smile at tells you where. Rise. Okay. Now, because they have no direct object, they are not found using passive voice. Nothing is happened. Nothing was occurred. Now, decrease is a good example of a verb that can be transitive or intransitive. It's not like reduce, which needs an object. Things can decrease all by themselves, without an actor, without something decreasing it. Okay? So that's the difference between reduce and decrease. Reduce is highly transitive, decrease is not. Okay, so the two words are synonyms, but are they interchangeable? Okay, we're going to go back to these 8 examples here. Now, can we take reduce and decrease and just swap them from one another? Well, can we? I don't know. Let's check. Okay, in this here, I have swapped them. Are they correct or incorrect? During the 1980s, the amount of ozone in the stratosphere above Europe reduced by about 8%. Is that correct? Can we say it like that? What does Badger think? When one airline decreases its prices, when one airline decreases its prices, the rest soon follow suit. Total unemployment has reduced. No? Government has pledged to decrease. Yeah, that's okay. No? Yes. No. Okay, whoops. All right. So, in these sentences, you can swap anywhere it says reduce. You can put decrease in there, and that's fine. Pledge to decrease. Clothing will decrease. Airline decreases. She decreased. Those are all okay, but not on the other hand. Not the other way. Europe reduced by, except for the last one. Government proposed. Well, here it's more of a gerund. It's the government proposed reducing, which is fine. How about these words? Fall, raise, increase, expand, rise, improve, cut, grow. Are they T, transitive, B, I, intransitive, or B, both? What do you think? Oh, it's intermission time. Got some music playing in here. Pause the video and mark your answers. Meow. Okay. So, folks, what do you think? Fall, transitive, intransitive, or both? Shout out your answer. What did you say, huh? Did you say intransitive? You're right. Yes. You can't fall something. Prices of commodities fell worldwide after crop. Nothing fell them. Raise. Highly transitive. Yes. Okay. Right. Our expectations were raised. Now note here, I put it in the passive just to show you that you can do it that way. Expectations raised our, the good news raised our expectations. Increase. Well, increase is pretty much just like decrease. It's both. Okay? You can use transitive or intransitive. We need to increase public awareness. That's transitive. Awareness of the problem increases every day. There it's intransitive. Expand. What do you think? Yeah, also both. Expand your mind with education. What's the object? Mind. What's the subject? You. You, this is an imperative. It's a command, so there's an unspoken you as the subject. The city expanded. Now there it's intransitive. It doesn't really change the meaning either. Rise, we went over this. Intransitive, the sun rises in the east. Improve. Transitive, intransitive, or both? Shout out your answer. What? Did you say both? Yeah, both. They can be used. The context just changes it. Okay, how about cut? Prices were cut. Well, that's passive, so it must be transitive, right? Yes, very transitive. Requires an object. If we don't cut our carbon emissions, catastrophes become more common. Grow. What do you think? Transitive, intransitive, or both? Well, it is both, but there's a subtle change in meaning here to the verb. When we say that bamboo does not grow naturally in the Amazon. Okay, there's nothing that, grow is to live, okay, here in this sentence. It means to live. But in this sentence, grow means to farm, or to put water onto, to cultivate. The farmers do not grow that crop in the region. There. That crop is the object. So that's it, folks. Hope you've understood and appreciated the difference between decrease and reduce. Decrease is which grease? All right. So thanks for watching. Again,